Okay, for this project, you're going to need the Caron Simply Soft or whatever yarn that you're going to use for your project, and I'm using grape. You're also going to need your N size crochet hook or 9mm crochet hook, and for the button, I'm going to use this purple, it's Favorite Findings buttons. And you're also going to need your scissors and a tapestry needle. You're also going to need, actually, you're not going to need a sewing needle and thread because you can just use your tapestry needle with these big buttons, which is nice. Okay, the first thing we're going to do is just a slip knot. So go ahead and get your yarn, and with your yarn, you're just going to make a loop. And then take your crochet hook and then put the crochet hook through the loop, and then with your middle finger and your thumb you're just going to hold at the base of the loop, and then you're going to yarn over and then just turn your hook upside down and bring the yarn through that loop for a slip knot, and then you can just pull it tight. And now you're just going to do single crochets for the length that you want for your coupon wallet. So you're just going to yarn over, go through that loop for 1, 2, 3, and I'll do 2 more with you, 4, 5. Okay, so for mine, I did 25 single crochet. That's how big I'm going to do my coupon wallet. Now we're going to go ahead and move up to the second row, and you're going to hold on to the last stitch you made with your middle finger and your thumb, and you're going to go ahead and single crochet 3, 1, 2, 3, and that's going to count as your first double crochet, and the stitch you're holding with your middle finger and thumb, that's the 4th stitch from the hook, and we're going to do a half double crochet into that stitch. So you're going to go ahead and yarn over, and then you're going to go into that 4th stitch from the hook, and then you're going to yarn over, and then you have 3 loops on your hook. You're going to yarn over, and then you're going to bring that yarn through all 3 loops on the hook, and that's your half double crochet. So then we're going to alternate doing double crochet and half double crochet all the way across back to the beginning, and I'll do a few of them with you. Go ahead and yarn over, and then you're going to go into that next stitch for a double crochet. Going to yarn over, 3 loops on your hook, go ahead and yarn over and go through 2, and then you're going to yarn over and go through 2 for a double crochet. And then you're going to go into yarn over and go into that next stitch for a half double crochet, yarn over, 3 loops on your hook, you're going to yarn over and bring that yarn through all hoops on your hook. Now we're going to do a double crochet into the next stitch. You're going to yarn over, go into that next stitch, yarn over, 3 loops on the hook, going to yarn over and go through 2, and then you're going to yarn over and go through 2 for a double crochet. And that's how your work is looking so far. Now we're going to do a half double crochet, so you yarn over, go into the next stitch, yarn over, you have 3 loops on the hook, you're going to yarn over and go through all 3 loops on the hook. And I'll do 1 more double crochet and half double crochet with you. Go ahead and yarn over, go into the next stitch, yarn over, 3 loops on your hook, yarn over and go through 2, and then yarn over and go through 2. And now you're going to do a half double crochet into the next stitch, yarn over, 3 loops on the hook, yarn over and go through all 3 loops on the hook. So go ahead and repeat that pattern all the way to the end, and then I'll show you how to turn and do the next row. Okay, this is how your work should look. And I have one more stitch left. I'm going to do a double crochet into that last stitch. So I'm going to yarn over and then go into that last stitch, yarn over, and I have 3 loops on my hook. And I'm going to yarn over and go through 2, and then yarn over and go through 2. And that is the last stitch on that row. So now, because I did a double crochet below, I'm going to do a half double crochet above. So I'm going to go ahead and do 2 single crochets. So I'm going to yarn over, 1, yarn over, 2. So I have 2 single crochets. That will count as my first half double crochet. Then I'm going to turn my work. And here you can see the base of my stitch where I did the half double crochet. It kind of loops up there. I'm not going to go into that base. You can see the next stitch over on the previous row was a half double crochet. I'm going to do a double crochet into that stitch. So I'm going to go ahead and yarn over, and then I'm going to go into that stitch, and I'm going to do a double crochet. I'm going to yarn over, 3 loops on my hook, yarn over and go through 2, and then yarn over and go through 2. So you can see how my work looks. The edge will stay nice and straight, which is really nice. And then the next stitch I had my double crochet. So in the next stitch I'm going to do a half double crochet. I'm going to yarn over, go into that next stitch, yarn over, 3 loops on the hook, yarn over and go through all 3 for a half double crochet. And you're going to repeat that pattern all the way across. So I'm going to go ahead and do another double crochet with you. Go ahead and yarn over, go into that next stitch, yarn over, 3 loops on the hook, yarn over and go through 2, and then yarn over and go through 2. So go ahead and repeat that pattern all the way across, and then I'll show you how to turn again. Okay, so now you can see pretty much your pretty pattern that's being created by this stitch. And I just finished a half double crochet, and here you can see I have 2 stitches left, 1 and 2. So my next stitch will be a double crochet into the next stitch. So I'm going to yarn over, go into the next stitch, and then yarn over, 3 loops on my hook, yarn over and go through 2, and then yarn over and go through 2. Now here it's kind of tricky because you think, oh, you're done now, it looks like it's done, but you actually have that last stitch on the end, excuse me, and it's important to get into that stitch. So we're going to go ahead and yarn over, go into that last stitch for my half double crochet, yarn over, 3 loops on the hook, yarn over and go through all 3. So now you can see it's going to make a nice edge, so it's not going to be crooked because you got that last stitch. Since on this end I did a half double crochet, now I'm going to start the next row with a double crochet. So you're going to go ahead and chain 3, 1, 2, 3. So you have 3 chains, and that's going to be for your first double crochet. Go ahead and turn your work, and it's the same thing here. That little curve up there is the base of this first double crochet right here. So we're going to go into this next stitch with a half double crochet. So I did my first double crochet. Go ahead and yarn over, and I'm going to go into that next stitch for a half double crochet, yarn over. You have 3 loops on your hook, yarn over and go through all 3, for a half double crochet, and then we're going to repeat our pattern across. I'll do one more with you. Go ahead and yarn over, go into that next stitch for a double crochet, and then you go into the next stitch for a half double crochet. Go ahead and repeat that pattern all the way across. Okay, so I'm back at the end of the row, and you can see I have 2 stitches left, 1 and 2. So I'm going to go ahead and do, I just finished a double crochet, so I'm going to do a half double crochet, yarn over, go into the next stitch, yarn over, then I'm going to yarn over and go through all 3 loops on the hook, then I'm going to yarn over, go into that last stitch, yarn over, then I'm going to yarn over and go through 2, and then yarn over and go through 2 for a double crochet. And you can see how nice the edge is for your wallet. So now for the next row, you're going to chain 2, 1, 2, and then that'll count as your first half double crochet, and you're going to repeat this pattern, and then I'm going to show you how many rows you're going to need for your wallet. Okay, so here's your finished work, and you can see how straight the edges are. And I did a total of 18 rows, and when you finished the amount of rows that you want, then we're going to go ahead and finish off. And you're just going to take and yarn over, and then pull that yarn through that loop to finish off, and just bring enough yarn through to bury into your project. Now what you're going to do is you're just going to fold up the bottom, and you're going to leave 3 rows open, because that's going to fold down like this. Then you're going to take your tapestry needle and just take your yarn, some of your yarn, and we're going to sew the edges down. Okay, so I'm going to start on the edge that I have a loose yarn end, because I can use it to tie my knot. And then you're just going to go in and just leave enough yarn, because you're going to use that to bury into your work. And then just tie a knot. And I like to tie it 3 times. And then you're just going to take your tapestry needle, and you're just going to go through the superficial stitches and just sew the ends closed. You're just going to go in and out. And you're going to do that on both sides, and then come back and I'll show you the next step. Okay, so both sides should be sewed closed. So now you have the opening for your wallet. And just take any loose ends that you have. I already buried most of mine, but I'm going to show you the last one I have. I'm just going to bury it on the inside, and just take and weave your tapestry needle through the inside of the project. And then you just take and cut the end of it, and then it's all buried inside the work. So now go ahead and fold down the top part and figure out where you want to have your button. I want to have my button about right there, so I'm going to make sure it's about halfway through. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Then I have 2 spots for the button, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I'm going to do it about right there. And you just take your crochet hook and you go about where you would like to have your button. Actually, I'm going to go in this stitch, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 stitches from the right side. Just take my yarn, I'm going to hook it through, and make sure you have enough to tie your knot. And then you're going to do a single crochet. So you're going to yarn over and bring the yarn through the loop. And you're going to tie a knot on the back. And do one more. Make sure it's nice and secure. Then you're going to go ahead and crochet 10 single crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And then you're just going to take and loop it back. And I'm going to skip one spot, one stitch, and then go into the next stitch. I'm going to yarn over, and then I'm going to do a slip stitch by bringing that yarn through both loops on the hook. And then I'm going to finish off, yarn over and go through that loop to finish off, and just leave enough to sew into your work. And then you have a little button loop that will come down and close the wallet. So now you can go ahead with your tapestry needle and you can bury your loose yarn ends, and then also take your tapestry needle with some same colored yarn and then sew your button on in place on just the front flap of the wallet. Okay, so this is what the wallet looks like, all finished. And you have the little latch. If you want a little snugger fit on the latch, you can make the latch smaller if you want. But I like the big latch. I can also take this latch and twist it and close it like this too. And this makes a nice coupon wallet. And this is my coupon wallet that I have. And you can see it's a little bit smaller than the one I'm giving to my friend. So if you wanted to use a smaller hook, you could use a smaller hook and it'll make it a little bit smaller. Or you can still use the larger hook, the end hook, and just use less stitches, whichever method that you want to do for the size of wallet that you wanted.